Hi everyone, I'm here to talk to you tonight in my video journal about my beliefs in terms of people and what I think about the human condition. So I guess let's just get right into it. My general belief is that we are all born with the intentions of being good. However, I think that our environmental factors shape us into the people that we become. I think that a lot of times people who are brought up in bad situations like child abuse and neglect, I think those people tend to have a harder time as adults. There's certain cases I understand where someone who comes from that kind of past will have a really bright future, be very kind, helping people, but then there's the other end of the spectrum where the cycle continues. For example, I guess I'll just kind of use myself as an example for this. I was brought up in a pretty good home. My parents got divorced shortly after I was born. I was probably maybe only a year old. I remember seeing my dad a little bit as a child, but my dad was a drug addict and he was also an alcoholic. And I just remember all these promises that he made to me that he never did fulfill. And I remember there were nights that he and my stepmom at the time would fight and it'd get physical. And it was a traumatizing time. It was to the point that I begged my mom to never let me go back there. I just never wanted to be in that situation again because he wouldn't let me go home. So I think that can be very detrimental. I think a lot of that is why today I really don't care to be around alcohol. I think it's just something that has really changed. Well, I don't know if changed is the right word, but that's what I grew up around, and that's what I don't want to become, and I don't want to be around people like that. However, I think that a lot of the reason I am the way that I am today is because I have been with my mom, who was a phenomenal parent. She was both my mother and my father, and I do have a stepdad. I have been with him since I was almost 3 years old, and he was very good to me, very good to my mom, but really it's my mom that I learned from. She did whatever she could to help me. She provided me, with food and a roof over my head. But so I think that the positives greatly outweigh the negatives in my situation, which is probably why I consider myself to be a kind-hearted person, and I try not to let the bad things in my past shape me, because that's not me. I have 3 half-siblings and 2 step-siblings, and another example that I'm thinking of is one of my half-sisters. All my siblings are younger than me. She grew up, we have the same father, and so she grew up with her mom, and her mom was not a very good person. She was a liar, a cheater. She was abusive. She married an abusive man. So my sister grew up in a harsh household where she was always being yelled at, swore at, and hit. And I don't know for sure, but I think she may at one point have been molested. That she's never told me that, but another one of my sisters had. But anyway, that's besides the point. But I think that she grew up in such a negative household that today she is just a miserable person. All she likes to do is create problems wherever she can. It does not matter, even if you're family, she's going to just try to get in your head and cause problems. So again, this goes back to that I think our past and our experiences through adolescence really shapes into the kind of person that we are in the future. I'm sure a lot of people probably say that I am negative, but I don't consider myself to be negative. I consider myself to be realistic. A lot of people always tell me to look for the good in people. Well, sometimes I can see through what good there might be, and I do believe that some people may have been good in their childhood, but because of their past experiences, they have become, I don't know necessarily if I believe anybody's bad, but I certainly believe that they make very bad choices. And I'm not sure either if I really believe that people can be pure evil. I'm not really decided where I stand on that, but I definitely think that people make terrible, terrible choices, and I believe that due to the lack of resources we have in mental health, a lot of people that need help don't get it, or those that need help don't see that they need help, which again, they're not getting help if they don't think they need help, because you can't help somebody who doesn't see a problem with their actions. Well, I think I've probably done enough rambling for tonight. I hope everyone understands the point that I was making, and that they understand what I meant when I was talking about how your childhood can shape you into the adult that you become. But I hope you enjoyed listening. I can't wait to see what all of your perspectives are and your beliefs. So I'll be looking forward to it. Have a good night.